Okay, folks, Critics' Choice Awards for 2017 just wrapped up, or is it 2018? They always say 2018 or 27. It's like weird. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and just run through the winners here. I'll tell you what I got right, what I got wrong. Um, and there's a couple things I think that are solidified here tonight, at least as far as I'm concerned at the Oscars, or some very more likely bets, if we want to put it that way. Okay, so Best Picture here went to The Shape of Water. This was kind of a surprise for me. I thought it would go to Lady Bird. And if we go through here, Lady Bird actually did not win anything tonight. At least not in these like major categories that count. Even some of the lesser categories like Best Action Movie and Best Actor in an Action Movie and all that shit, all that stuff. I don't really care for it. Anyways, but it's like Lady Bird didn't win anything tonight. That kind of shocked me. So then it was Shape of Water for picture. Yeah, it was between this and Get Out, Lady Bird, and Three Billboards. So yeah, I think Shape of Water. It also really cleaned up here, and it got Best Director. It also won for production design. It won for score. I think it won for. Was there one other one I missed? Nope. Okay, four. I thought it had more than that, or it felt more like more than that. Anyway, so it did win more, I think, than any of the other films up here. Um, and yeah, Guillermo del Toro. I mean, I think aside from maybe BAFTA might go for Christopher Nolan, but I think everything else is going to go to Guillermo del Toro at this rate. I mean, he's got probably the DGA, he's probably got the Oscar too, and all that. So he's won everything he can so far. I think for the most part, except for a few critics prizes here and there have gone to different people, but. Yeah, so I think that's the way that's going to go. Gary Oldman won here, even though Darkest Hour had a few critics divided, even though there's a few people who were even divided on the performance. Um, and Timothée Chalamet did not win, so yeah, I think Gary Oldman's going to win everything else from here on out. Frances McDormand won Best Actress. She looks like she's very likely to continue to win everything going forward. We also saw Sam Rockwell and Allison Janney. They were both winners of the Globes. They continue to win here as well, picking up Supporting Actor and Supporting Actress. Yeah, I switched over to them at the Oscars too. I think, yeah, I mean, really, this is the way I think it's going to go. I had Willem Dafoe winning here, and I had Laurie Metcalf winning in those supporting categories. I did pick Frances though; I got her right, so I got that one at least. So I think, but those two, Rockwell and Janney, I think they're going to keep going here. Let's see. Original screenplay went to Get Out for Jordan Peele. I got that one right. Adapted screenplay went to James Ivory for Call Me by Your Name. Yeah, I think Call Me by Your Name for sure is going to repeat at the Oscars. Original screenplay, I think it'll go to Three Billboards because I think Billboards at this rate is still the contender for Best Picture. I think, especially now, with Lady Bird getting no support at all here from Critics' Choice at the for wins. I mean, yeah, that doesn't help. So, and yeah, at this rate, Shape of Water is not up for SAG Ensemble. And like I've been saying, it's like a broken record at this point, but it's like 20 plus years of SAG nominations for that outstanding cast. Not one of them that has at least not been, nominated there has gone on to win Best Picture. Or you get what I mean. It's I don't know if I said that right or wrong. Anyway, so yeah, Shape of Water missed out for that. It could win Best Actress that night, though. It could, because at this rate, if Rockwell wins Supporting Actor and Three Billboards wins Outstanding Cast, are they really going to give it 3 out of 5 big awards? I don't know. SAG gets kind of stingy about stuff like that. They don't like to always do that. Actually, I got to think about it. The last time I think they did that was The Help, because that won Actress, Supporting Actress, and Outstanding Cast. So they don't do it very often to give it more than say 2 awards, but to one particular film. So Three Billboards, yeah, if they want to go a different way for lead actress, then I think they go for Sally Hawkins to give Shape of Water something. In fact, yeah, I'll put it that way. I'll put it that way. It's kind of like, not to, say it's an ultimatum or something, but it's like if Sally Hawkins can take down Frances at SAG, which I don't think is going to happen, but if it does, that's a sign that SAG is going out of their way to give Shape of Water something. It's, it was probably in second place at the Globes for that drama race. And Guillermo keeps winning for director. Um, it's consistently nominated for supporting actor and sometimes for supporting actress. Octavia's gotten into a lot of races. It's got support, and it's going to be nominated for screenplay. It's going to get all the tech category nominations. It's probably looking at a few wins as well for probably like production design, score. It could pull off a win, I think, for what was the other category? I was just thinking about it the other day, and I was like, that could actually go to Shape of Water. It wasn't cinematography; it was something else, but I forget it right now. And it's not makeup; it's not eligible there. So yeah, maybe after this win tonight, maybe Shape of Water is more of a contender than I was originally thinking. But it would have to be the year that SAG is wrong with that ensemble nomination lining up with Best Picture winner thing. It would have to be a case like that. But hey, last time we thought that was going to happen for sure, no question. It didn't. So, all right, moving on to the tech categories here tonight. Cinematography did go to Blade Runner for Roger Deakins. God willing, he keeps going and wins every other prize he can. And he'll finally get that Oscar. Production design went to Shape of Water. I got those two right. Yeah, I think Shape of Water has the Oscar for that one too. Costume design went to Phantom Thread. That one, or Beauty and the Beast, I think those are the two it comes down to at the Oscars. Editing, we had a tie here for Baby Driver and Dunkirk. I had Dunkirk winning this. Now, Baby Driver winning, that's a good sign for the film, and I think I can't. Did I put it in for film editing? I think I did. So I think at the Oscars, I think that one gets in. Every once in a while, like we saw Star Wars: The Force Awakens was nominated for editing without a picture nomination. We saw that was the case. What was the time before that? Born Ultimatum. There we go. Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, every once in a while they'll go with like kind of one of those heavily edited films like that is not a Best Picture contender. So I think and that was for the win too. I don't know if Baby Driver can pull off the win. I think probably Dunkirk still wins that one. Hair and makeup went to Darkest Hour, no surprise there. Visual effects, War for the Planet of the Apes, no surprise there. Animated feature, Coco, no surprise. Original score, Alexander Desplat, Shape of Water, no surprise. Best song went to Coco for Remember Me, no surprise there. Last one would just be a foreign language film. I had BPM. That one couldn't win here either. It went to, again, like at the Globes, In the Fade. Which I think In the Fade it does qualify this year, right? Pretty sure it does. So, I don't know. Maybe that one does end up with a foreign language film. Because I think what's everybody else saying is going to win right now. I forget what it is, but I don't think it's In the Fade. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I think this definitely solidifies the Guillermo del Toro thing, solidifies Gary Oldman. Rockwell looks good. Janney is looking better than ever. McDormand, I think, even if she loses SAG, I think she can still win the Oscar if Three Billboards does well there. We didn't mention there was the acting ensemble category. That's right. Three Billboards picked up that one, so I think I had the post for that one. That one I probably should have gone Three Billboards. Yeah, my fault. Yeah, okay. Yeah, original score is going to continue. Original screenplay is going to continue to be interesting here. I think Three Billboards at the Oscars, but they could give it to Lady Bird. Jordan Peele won here tonight, so Get Out I think is definitely a contender. I think we've already said some of these other ones here, so let's call it. I don't really have much to say here. I mean, for the most part, there were a couple, kind of picks I had where I said, well, I think the critics would prefer this over that, this over that. A couple of those that, made sense to me, but at the moment here, it looks like they're just really, this year, they're just maybe trying to predict the Oscars. Maybe Best Picture for Shape of Water, too. Maybe they think they have that one nailed, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Anyway, so, yeah, I think that's all I got to say for that. The show itself, I watched it, but... man, I don't know what it was, but this show really bored the hell out of me. Except for like Guillermo's speech was great, Gary Oldman's speech was great. Allison Janney, I thought, did a good job for her speech. Who else? They did not broadcast the screenplay prizes. I think it would have been nice to see Jordan Peele's speech. The production and technical categories stuff, that was all just summed up in commercial breaks and stuff. Anyway, that's the problem with Critics' Choice. It's like they do TV and movies, and it's like they have more TV categories than any other award show, more movie categories than any other award show. It's like they try to cram them all into a 2-hour show, It just doesn't work that way. So that's why they have to, obviously that's why they go to the commercial breaks and say, okay, so the winner for this category is this category, this category. But it's like the screenplay people, come on, let them get a chance to speak. It's like, even though it's not as critically um, rated, the ratings aren't going to be as high for this award show as, say, the Oscars or Globes or even SAG, I think, even gets a bigger audience than this most of the time. But yeah, it's like I think that's a shitty thing to do is to leave the writers, not even broadcast their wins. Which the WGA is like the biggest wussy group. I mean, nothing against them, but it's like every little thing they start a boycott, they start this, they start that. It's like every little thing upsets them, and it's like, yeah, this doesn't help. So, yeah. Anyways, so I don't know what else I have to say for that. Um, Gosh, I don't know. It's like, yeah, the Olivia Munn I think did as well as she could as the host, but it's like, especially coming after the Globes, where it was like every joke was about the sex scandals and stuff, and the and the predators being outed and stuff. It's like when you have it's like two award shows in one week that do that. It felt like all of her jokes, got beat to the punch and stuff. There was a good joke though about All the Money in the World, how the pay difference on the reshoots and stuff. That made me laugh. And there were a couple, there were some good ones here and there. Nothing against Olivia Munn. I think she, as a performer, I think she does a good job for most of these things. Sometimes she gets cast in the wrong role, but that happens to everybody, I guess. But yeah, this show, it's kind of hard, kind of like the Globes. It's like, yeah, you get the opening bit, and it's like the opening bit for this was a just, total train wreck. I just didn't enjoy it at all. And then it's like, as far as how they distributed the awards and what, when they placed this certain award to be presented here, it's like all that was kind of, I don't know, kind of iffy. It's like, at least the Globes, most of the time, they'll start with a couple of the film awards, like supporting actor or supporting actress or something. And then they jump over to some TV stuff. They come back to a film one every once in a while. Kind of like the Oscars, how they have, they start with a big category, then they do some of the smaller categories. Then after, probably 3 or 4 awards, they go back to a big category, then do a few small ones, then go back to a big one. And then pretty soon it lines up to where you're out of small categories, then it's just the rest of the big ones, which they tried to do, but it's like, really weird when you're presenting like best drama series like within the first 40 minutes of your show and best comedy series at the hour 15 mark or hour 20, whatever it was. So yeah, that some of that stuff was kind of weird. um it's like because and then they would line up like supporting actor, supporting actress in film, they did, or comedy actor and comedy actress in television they lined up. I think they did the same for drama and stuff. Another thing too that was like, well, no wonder. I mean, obviously, I think the sponsors, how many sponsors you get, kind of gets into that too. But it was like they would present one award and then they go to commercial break, present another award, go to commercial break, and it's like, no, well, no wonder your show's in fear of running too long. But it's like, hey, if you got the sponsors, you got to put them in somewhere, I guess. So, anyways, I had more to talk about the show than I think the actual awards. I think for this one, which is surprising. Most of the time, I don't give a shit about the actual presentation of the awards, except for the speeches and what it means going forward and stuff. But no, there's some a little bit of stuff to talk about here and there. Kumail Nanjiani was on stage a couple times. He was funny as hell, though. He always does a good job. All right, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah, do I have anything else to say? I mean, we just got DGA today. Jordan Peele's in, Nolan's in, McDonough's in, Gerwig's in, and Del Toro's in for DGA, which is what I was predicting would happen there. So Spielberg's out there. The Post didn't get into WGA. The Post missed out at SAG, obviously, and a few other few guilds here and there. Didn't get into the Cinematographers Guild. It got into Ace Eddie, so that's one sign for it there. But it's like it keeps missing a lot of key stuff. So yeah, that one. I think it still gets a picture nomination, but I think director is really shaky at this point. Actor is really shaky. Well, okay, well, except for one thing. Now James Franco, he's the next one with this scandal and stuff. And well, the thing is, right now is there's a couple reports and there's a couple there's I think it's 5 or 6 women I think at this rate have come out against him and stuff. but it's like he's got the Deuce, the show that's I think it's Showtime or Amazon or one of those. Sorry, I don't watch the show, so I don't know what network it's on. They haven't fired him yet. They're still shooting. I think it's season 2 they're shooting. He's working on that right now. Amidst doing all this campaigning and going to all these award shows, he's really, really busy right now. He always keeps busy though. But he's doing, he's shooting that show at the same time that all this is going on, and they haven't let him go yet. Which Netflix let Kevin Spacey go within like 48 hours. So, obviously he's not out of the woods yet, but I think Franco, if these were very serious enough and if they took it seriously enough and if it's going to be as big a story as the other ones there, I think we would have gotten an announcement from them by now, or maybe they haven't, I just haven't seen it yet. But yeah, they're keeping him. They're still shooting right now. Another thing too we have to remember is for the Oscars, which is really the last big award that he can be nominated for here, because I think they're the last ones to announce nominations here, and that's not going to be for a little under 2 weeks. But they're voting right now, and the ballots are due tomorrow on Friday. So so there's a good number of voters in the Academy and in the acting branch and stuff that have already cast their ballots. I mean, not all of them, obviously. There's a few ballots out there. And some of the people, they love James Franco no matter what. I think there are some people that left Franco off the ballots for, specific reasons. Maybe some that line up with this. So they were already not going to vote for Franco. So that might not make as big a difference. It's going to be difficult to trying to predict this year. Because you have to remember, too, is if in the next week, all of a sudden we see it's like now it's 20, it's 30, 40 people coming out against Franco or something big like that happens. The ballots are already cast in. They're already counting them. It's too late at that point, unless the Academy does a huge rule break thing where they're like, okay, this guy, we have to cross his name off every ballot. If something like that happens, which I think the Academy would let us know ahead of time on, if it gets that bad, I think we'll hear about it. But otherwise, what's done is done. I think a lot of the ballots have his name on them, and they're already, it's obviously I think it's electronic voting, but it's like, metaphorically, the envelopes have already that you put them in. It's a mail metaphor. I don't know. Some of you guys don't know what mail is anymore, but it's like they've already mailed their ballots in. They've licked the stamp, or they licked the stamp on there, licked the envelope shut. They've sent it off in the mail. So, for some of those ballots, obviously there are some that are going to wait until tomorrow. Some people get it done within the first couple hours of voting. So it's like, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that one over the next few days. If Franco does, either miss, just because of this or for whatever reason, yeah, the Academy goes against it and says we're just not going to nominate him, even if he gets the necessary votes. This feels wrong. We're going to cross his name off and all that. Who gets in? Well, obviously Kaluuya, I think, is in. Gary Oldman's in. Chalamet's in. Daniel Day-Lewis is in. They probably go with Tom Hanks. He's been nominated quite a few places here. Gyllenhaal was a nominee here tonight, but this is about the only big award he's been nominated for. Hugh Jackman is up too, but I don't think he's got a lot of support at this rate. I'm trying to think who else. Who else has been nominated at all the other award shows? Yeah, it's like some of these Best Actor contenders, it's like some of the lists are kind of a little shaky. Let me pull up a couple more here. I think, yeah, probably Hanks at that rate, but, they could go, because every once in a while there's like a weird thing, like Emmanuel Riva getting in, where she, that was an actress, of course, but it's a film that was on their radar for like foreign language film, but it's like all of a sudden, bam, it's like somebody else gets in. Denzel, I just pulled up a couple other ones. Denzel could actually reasonably get nominated here. He wasn't nominated here at Critics' Choice, but he was nominated at SAG, nominated at the Globes. BAFTA hates him, so they didn't nominate him there. Yeah, I think Denzel. Maybe Denzel gets that fifth slot if it doesn't go to Hanks or to a couple of the other ones we mentioned there. If Franco, for whatever reason, doesn't end up in the nominees there. Anyway, so what else do we have to report on here? Anything else? No, I don't think so. Okay, well, Anyways, that's up. That's it for Critics' Choice. We're gonna be done with that for a full 300 and whatever days until the next one. Yeah, so we could see this could be the start for maybe a little more support for Shape of Water. Uh, the first time I think, other than like the critics groups that we've seen Get Out win the screenplay prize, Three Billboards still got a couple acting awards and that ensemble award, so it was represented here. Lady Bird got nothing. That for me, that's the big headline, I think. And I think, I'm not going to go into it again. Sorry. But that whole thing I said the other night about the Twitter people, we're going to have to hear about that for the next few days too, about how Critics' Choice is so anti-feminist because they didn't go with Lady Bird, and they're so all this and all that. But it's like, well, yeah, yeah, you get some people that just don't shut up. All right, let's call that good. I don't know when we're going to be back again. I don't know. I'll probably do an update because I haven't talked about some of the technical categories in a while. I'll give you an update on that pretty soon, probably sometime next week, probably. And then, gosh, after that, I think we just have to go just the final predictions for all the categories for the Oscars. So, okay, let's call it there. All right, Critics' Choice over with.